Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mention. I thought I'd come and say hello. Wish you a wonderful full moon, this Wesak moon, this amazing Wesak moon. So I recommend you project your consciousness into this Wesak Valley in the Himalaya so you can fully participate. For there are many people who are gathering there, human beings, and there are many ascended masters that are coming to manifest themselves in the energetic level over there. I was going to shave my head, but I didn't have the time. I will do it for this Wesak celebration. I'm going to pull a few cards, discuss a few ideas, and to provide inspiration, guidance, support. And so I'm going to pull 13 cards with this Chinese deck. It's a very Buddhist deck, so I thought it's one of the most Buddhist deck I have, and so I thought I use it today. For the situation for us today is the Queen of Swords. It is what is potential for us, is the ability to use a sense of humor and to let go of the old role, to understand we played some role in the past, now we have to change our role. We want to, what we possess in Taurus is what we possess materially. The Taurus is very physical and material. It's like, show me the money, show me the manifestation. And here we have the moon, for we want to work with the moon, connect with the moon. The moon is one of the feminine aspects that contrasts the sun. It reflects the light of the sun. So slowly but surely be gentle with it, connect with the moon, be one with the moon, this full moon. And Scorpio will be greatly transformational. It's going to be very powerful. Many secrets will be revealed with this moon in Scorpio, because things will come up. What we see in Gemini is what our communication, what we communicate, our friends are traveling in mental activity. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. So we are open to miracles. We can make miracles happen. There is all kinds of unlimited access of possibility that are before us. What we see in Cancer is the home environment, is the home. For in the beginning, when I read this in French, there was this great harmonious vibration, and at the end of the reading, the reality shifted. And so now I see the tower there. The tower will be, it means breaking down certain old walls in order to clear up the ground, in order to allow something new to happen. So once the tower will be this phase of transformation of our inner world and in most immediate environment, we'll find the Page of Swords, which is a card of intuition. Here is ready for anything, but is like paused, and is wants to cut out all the small swords in order to emerge into a bigger sword. In the heart, there is the card of the heart. In the heart is the passion, it is family, it is anything that has to do with the heart, the creativity. And here we have the strength, is the card of the heart. It is the mastery of the tiger of fear, the power of the lion and the deer, the power of strength, the power of love. What we have in Virgo, which is we nourish ourselves materially and spiritually, is the Two of Staff. It speaks about we nourishing ourselves from the possibility of a long-lasting relationship, something that will bring us joy, a perfect complement. In Libra, what we see in Libra is all the world of relationship, which could be marriage, it could be business, it could be social, everything that has to do with relationship. And here we have the Nine of Coins. It is a god of prosperity. He will bring this great prosperity into our lives through relationship. What we see in Scorpio, what comes up from the inner depths, which is about love, sex, money, all those things of the root that we need to deal with on the earth plane. Here we have the Knight of Staff. So here it is someone that's like expecting difficulty, but we don't need to expect difficulty. For if we allow ourselves to be guided to let go of our control, our need to control things will unfold. And then we find the Ace of Cup, this great, beautiful divinity. This is the card of love, the card of source, the Holy Grail, the total well-being, the total joy that will come from within. In Sagittarius is what our laws, our concern, our philosophy, and here it is the power of the divine feminine. It is being guided by this graceful energy that everything falls into place naturally. What comes to us from the universe, it is the card of the universe. Again, we have two cards in natural position. It's a major arcane, which comes to us from the universe. It's from the great Mother in Capricorn. Here we have the universe. It's Kuan Yi, the goddess of compassion. So grace is given. So let us, what we see in Aquarius, which is our hopes, our friends, our desires, And here we have the Eight of Cup. It means there is two part of us that wants two different things. So it's like we have to reconcile those part of ourselves. For here it is two poets that are not agreeing. So we want to return to the one, the magician. We are the magician. We are the creator of our life. Do not let anybody distract you from your power, take your joy away. 15 seconds is just as much time you have to give to someone who wants to try to take your joy away. And the outcome in Pisces, the resolution of that karma, is the fourth sword. It means we have to be a little bit patient, because things will unfold naturally and gracefully when it is the time. And the outcome, the key and the outcome, is the Queen of Cups, is the ability to feel more emotion, to feel more, to be able to express our emotion, to be able it's the feminine side of femininity. So it's about being able to express your emotion in a positive way so that others can understand what you really want. For a long time, for a very long time, I received vision and guidance from my inner self, from my spiritual family and my God self. And for a long time, when I received something, I felt like I had to do something to get it closer to what I want. But those things are actually distraction. It is better to be in receptive joy and allow what is being shown to become contemplative of the plan of God, contemplative of the energies of God, and let them unfold naturally, rather than having to get into a cycle of action that will not necessarily lead there. To make it happen, and to always feel like we need to make it happen. What we want is to breathe in and blend in with the energies of the Creator, the energies of our soul, to breathe in and blend with the energies of the Archangel, to breathe in and blend with the energy of the Ascended Master. Those beings are pure light, and so there is really nothing that it's not like blending with the energy of another human being with all its darkness, shadows, illusions. Much more difficult, but when you blend into an Archangel, there is absolutely no light, or no darkness that can be... Yet it's like those beings will never overwhelm you. They're just here to reinforce your own light. Because humanity is lost in an illusion, and they're gonna have to wake up before they accept the landing, the first contact. For now, we have chosen to incarnate as advanced soul, advanced galactic, celestial, to assist the planet, to awaken the mass community of people. We want to feel the feeling and accept that we imagine the most perfect life that we can ever dream of. You can, if you want to, then it becomes natural. It's something that comes in your life at any expected moment. But you want to cultivate this possibility. Like if you want, it should be easy if you ever been to a situation like that, to imagine that you are in a sandy beach somewhere very warm, and you feel the heat of the sun on your skin, and your feet are in the water, and then you imagine yourself moving into this warm water, and you can just like feel the whole ocean, connect to the whole ocean. It can be anything else. It can be so imagine a first class life, whatever's the best, put all the details, everything, and then let go of the vision, and then it'll come back, and then you continue to cultivate, rearrange. Everything is a constant transformation. Also to use the technique of the hammock. For a long time, I'm just saying those things that work, that I'm being guided to integrate within me. It may not work like that for everybody. We need to, it's because it requires a lot of trust, a lot of faith. In the past, if you wanted to build a cathedral, you need to find funding, you need to find the land, find an architect, you find all the people to work it, and over hundreds of years you will build this cathedral. Now in this new age, you sit down in a hammock, you lay down, you envision your cathedral, and you relax, you let it go. When you come out of your hammock, of your nap, the cathedral is right there for you to enjoy. There is no more need. So the potential of magic that can happen. Of course, this may be an extreme case, but all those things, we need to cultivate our vision and the ability to shift into other realm, even if it's not physical. Always be to let the ego wants to drive, but the ego, when it drives, it scares itself. The ego is the mind, and so the mind has to be sitting back and let the soul drive the car. When you're with God, if you have experienced that, or with spirit, everything is marvelous. There is so much that is revealed, so much comfort that is given. But then as soon as this God presence is like letting us live inside our own mind, then we feel like there is so much unknown that is coming into the picture. So we want to know that this presence is always there. Just give us the opportunity to evaluate how we stand alone. But it's always better to let yourself, your ego, be in the back seat of the car, and let your creator and your soul drive your car, drive your experience. Understanding also that yesterday and tomorrow only exist in our mind. They don't exist anywhere else. Tomorrow will never exist. When we get there, it will be today. That doesn't mean that we won't be able to travel through the eternal time, back and forward, and eventually even manifest in the past or future, depending on the need of our mission. But those things, everything exists in the now, and tomorrow will never be. If God willing, I will come back tomorrow and make a new video, but it won't be tomorrow, it will be today, it will be now. For everything always existed in the now. We have those qualities within ourselves that we can never extinguish, which is stupidity and greed. And God has has them as well. For God is infinitely greedy. He takes possession of everything. There is nothing that is not in the possession of God. And stupidity is blind passion. God is passionate for the dark, for the light, for the high, for the low, for everything is part of that. But as human beings, we want to, instead of being greedy for material things or lower things, we want to be greedy for light, for wisdom, for joy, for grace. And we want to be passionate by serenity, the ability to just be well within our present of now. For it is the past that the Buddha has discovered. He did not extinguish his greed or stupidity, he elevated for everything as a lower side and a higher side. For arrogance is just the lower side of humility, or everything has two sides, and so we want to elevate our consciousness until we can fuse with. Once we'll reach the state of God self, then we will be able to enjoy both the dark and the light. We'll play with the energy. We'll guide the whole process of creation, following our own guidance. For the nature of man and the nature of God is one. It's just the ego that's separated. For unconditional love is something that has to be grown within, and conditional love is external. Conditional love is something that can bring suffering, when unconditional love will always bring us back to the good feeling. And your mission, if you don't know what your mission on the earth is usually connected, is always connected to that which brings you the greatest joy, the greatest fulfillment, the most enjoyment. God has not programmed you to have a mission that is uncomfortable for you. So it is about finding what are those things. For me, it's like creating art, bringing art into the world, discussing philosophy and spirituality is my mission. It's what brings me joy. And so I thank you for tuning in. For there's been many golden age on this planet that we have not, these three will be revealed. There was a very old civilization. They all ended up in catastrophes. But this new golden age will not end up in catastrophe. There was a civilization named Rama, and then there was Mu, and then there was a separation between Lemuria and Atlantis, masculine and feminine, and then we went through 12,000 years of we had to restart everything from scratch, and then we have 12,000 years of known history that could have ended in a catastrophic like Nostradamus, like a total destruction of the world. But that could have only happened between 2000 and 2012. Now we have passed between 2012 and 2019. We are entering into this new age, this golden age, and so there will be new communities that will be formed. And so right now there is a critical mass of the light that is assisting in our ascension possibility, but there is also a critical mass of darkness that is increasing, and all of that will bring the change that are needed. We have to trust that. Right now we have 30% of our DNA and 50% of our brain power that are functioning. We have been attuned to so much more in terms of memory and psychic ability. Whether we are conscious or not, we have been elevated through the past few years. But we do want to reconnect to at least 75% of our DNA, so maybe 80-90%. And 100% of our brain power. We are created to use all our brain power to develop those mutant genes like X-Men. But it won't be like a random given of like some people could have negative power. Their power will only be given to those who are kind, to those who are considerate, to those who are within the law of love and one. For those powers are not going to be given like in Hollywood scenario in random, where there is the fight between the dark and the light of both ignorance to the extreme. So those powers will come along with certain power on how to use it and how to be wise with it. So So we want to be romantic, but not too sentimental, to enjoy the romance, but not to be attached to the outcome. And also to understand there is choices that we made long ago, sometime in past life, that are conditioning certain things that are happening to us now. So we want to disconnect some of the old beliefs, some of the old thoughts that we used to have, so that we can be free and move to the next level, the next cycle. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. This painting is a Stargate. It's some sort of a Stargate. It's like this person, this like bird person. It looks like Horus a little bit. It says I am, and he's got the tree of life here, and his third eye is on the galactic center, and he opens up to a greater sphere, and there's Pluto, the symbol of Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Chiron, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Earth, Venus, Mercury, that opens up to the gateway, the Stargate. The triangle is always a star is the key that opens the door. And here there is a frame of reality, symbolic in the rectangle. Here is a frame of reality with an arrow that pushes to a greater reality. So it's a painting that's signed in 1919, at the beginning of the year. And I'm going to pull 4 more cards and sing a song. Let's see what... the highest wisdom for us today is community life. We're going to move into smaller communities. Personally, I have a lot of work to do in the cities and of the world to bring my art and consciousness in those places. But in essence, we're going to be able to find smaller communities where we're going to be able to, with highly conscious people, we're going to gather together, where we're going to establish new models of functioning in society, where we're going to be able to work, where everybody will be understood and we'll be able to find this greater joy. So there is a great deal of reflection that is going around that. What is the model of society? And but Spirit is organizing those new society, like ashram, yoga ashrams, or like in Brazil, there's these cities that were created to receive extraterrestrial, or in India, there's already some prototype cities of advanced communities, but there will be more on that, and they're going to form around the world. And so we'll find our place within those societies. What we need to understand is the vessels, is the exploration, for there's so much to explore. The universe is so big. Know yourself. Within yourself there's the whole universe. So that's not about physical conquest, it's about spiritual conquest, spiritual exploration. What we need to do is phobies. We need to face our fear to be strong. We need to become, so that we can love. Life begins when fear ends. As Osho used to say that. And so it's about letting go of all the fears. Then from there we'll be able to practice the farm. We'll be able to grow. And to grow what we need in order to feed others, and to be in harmonization with the nature, to purify our life. And the outcome is living or traveling. So there'll be much travel, physical travel that is underfoot. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I hope you enjoyed this Wesak, this full moon in Scorpio. I'll finish with a song that reminds us of the ephemeral part of life, for we are all made of stardust, and this dust, from dust to dust, all things remain. We take on a form and we disappear, and we take on a new form. And also I wanted to bring about the ideas that when you communicate with Mother Earth, or any star beings, or any galactic, those beings exist beyond the world of form, but they can take on a form. They take on a plasmic form. It's like a human form, but more brilliant and more beautiful. So it can help and assist when you want to communicate with higher forms of divinity. It's an old song. It goes like this. I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes, a curiosity, dust in the wind. All they are is dust in the wind. Now same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind. Now don't hang on Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away. And all your money won't another minute by. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind. Well, thank you for sticking till the end. Let's remind us to carpe diem, seize the day, enjoy your present, enjoy every moment, enjoy every day, be open and receptive. Anything can change, just like that. Anything is possible as we move our consciousness to this state of possibility. We become aware of allowing things that can come into our life in most magic and unexpected way. I wish you a wonderful Wesak Muni. It will last for a few days. You can connect to this Wesak Valley, to the energies of the Buddha and the Ascended Master. And I hope you enjoyed that. I thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.